Yes, people. Yes. Relief, pride. We didn't win the game, but we showed courage, proper courage. Dare I say it? We didn't play like champions. But we showed courage like champions. We showed bottle, and you know what? We went to the league leaders and we dominated the second half. And every single Liverpool fan is really proud of the team tonight. Because let's be honest, we've had discussions on this channel. Let's be honest that the manager has lost the players. That wasn't a team, especially in the second half, playing like a team like that the manager has lost. That was a dressing room united together. And you know what? Especially against them lot, against the likes of Martinelli, the absolute shit show. What he did to Bradley right at the end, we'll come to that. But that was totally out of order, and that's me being nice. Anyway,
no, let him today. Lagaro. He deserves that.
Asim, what you just said,
we deserve that.
What you've just said, I couldn't have put it perfect. I couldn't have put it better myself. Very rare for that to happen, but yeah, beautiful words. And look, we have battered the manager. The chat has battered him at times, at the best of times. Wanted him out. We've looked for maybe a new journey, new direction, new path in the summer. And tonight, in isolation, look, just in isolation, just for today, even the chat, just for tonight, that was a prouding performance. We behaved like champions. We played like champions. It was the ascendancy was on Arsenal to make the plays. They didn't get no clear-cut chances, whether it was Craparez or whether it was Jesus at the end with that header. They didn't have any more clear-cut chances. Tonight, Asim, I am proud of the manager. I'm proud of those 11. Forget Joe Gomez for the 30-second cameo. I am proud of those 11. I couldn't be prouder. Honestly, even though it was 0-0, one of the best performances in the last 2 years for me, because everyone thought we were going to get a lacking. Everyone thought that Arsenal were going to put this Champions Elect performance. They were nowhere near. Second half especially, there were some dogs that battled till the very end for us. There was some trenchmen in war that went through fire for us tonight. McAllister, Grav, Wirtz with the work rate, Sabosselai, Jesus Christ, Frimpong, constant running, Kirkes, constant running, Kanate, brilliant, Van Dijk, Alisson. It was a very good performance. And boys, Arsenal, for 12 rounds, 90 minutes, 94 minutes, didn't lay a single glove on us.
Welcome, Ben.
Evening.
Pride, courage, strength, unity, these sort of words. We might not have won it, but that second half, a performance in particular, Ben, it gave me real pride.
Amazing. Superb second half performance, solid first half performance. And can I just start the show by saying all of Avi's bombers about all of these players that we're going to sign over the last 12, 18 months, his best shout and his absolute number one shout is that this team are going to Budapest. Because if that display in isolation doesn't show you that this team are capable of in a one-off situation putting together a result and a performance, we all know that it hasn't been consistent this season and they've felt sorry for themselves, but we definitely have got the ability and the execution to be able to, in a one-off game. I said to Asim last night, you'll all, I'm sure people will have watched that chat. Arsenal are the favourites for the Champions League, and we've just fucking schooled them in that second half with no strikers. I'm not even including Gakpo as a striker. Bradley. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So frustrating. I thought he rolled his ankle. But he must have rolled his ankle and then fell on his knee.
I see that Conor Bradley twisted his knee.
You know, Conor Bradley,
twisted his knee.
He's got that Irish mentality about him, that Northern Irish sort of fight in him. Like when he gets fouled, he gets up, but he hobbles. But today, I know they're saying twisted knee. I think it was slightly a bad one. So prayers.
You could tell he's in trouble. You could tell he's in trouble.
The minute he came, he fell down. You could tell.
But
that,
when
a player goes off like that, you know it's shitty.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know whether you mentioned Martinelli, mate. What an absolute dickhead. Oh man, I wanted someone to absolutely lamp him because that was bang out of order.
Then he's what you call in our language a harami marjod. That's what he is.
Absolute tutti. That's what he was.
Yeah. No, he's worse.
Unbelievable.
Worse than that. Sorry, Asim.
Is that worse? Is it?
I'm sorry.
Is that like?
I shouldn't be saying that, but it's true.
I'm not even asked what that means.
Let's rewind, boys. Let's look. That was the emotion, just including Avi's outburst. Gene, let's go to the game. I thought McAllister was brilliant tonight. I thought Ryan Gravenberch was brilliant tonight. I thought Dominic Szoboszlai covered every single blade of grass. I thought even Wirtz, Gene, I thought Arsenal couldn't handle him. They couldn't handle him. And we packed the midfield 100%. Yeah. But I thought from the keeper, it's shite weather tonight. But talk to me about the midfield, because I thought all three were brilliant.
Let's be honest. I don't think there is a Liverpool fan on planet Earth that hasn't gone to town on Alexis McAllister this season. But that was some performance from him. And me being his biggest fan and being his biggest critic of Asim, it's only fair that we give him real flowers, because I thought he was immense in that midfield. The way he shielded the ball, he didn't let them move. And on the ball, Asim, even when they were coming and pressing him, he let go of the flow of the ball at every single opportunity. Didn't take any chances. Kept it simple. Kept the ball moving, and he showed real energy. And that was the key. Showed determination. And even when that stuff happened with Bradley, he was one of the guys in there that was willing to fight. And that's what we want to see from McAllister, because he has the flipping Argentinian grit and determination. And we needed to see more of that. We needed to see a Rami McAllister, like I've always said. And we saw that today. A McAllister who's on it and is up for the fight. Because today was always going to be a fight. Today was always going to be who wants it. And we wanted it. Gravenberch on the ball today, man. Toba. I thought he took the piss out of them at times. The way he skipped past us, got us up the field 10, 15 yards every time. Look, man to man, we were brilliant. But that second half performance, not one of us expected that to happen in that second half. And I have to give the manager, Arne Slot, and this Liverpool team so much credit, guys, so much credit for what they did in that second half, because that was some performance to go to the Emirates, right? Arguably one of the best side in Europe right now, who slapped up everybody. We didn't let them out of their fucking half, boys. We did not let, for the first 30 minutes in that second half, they couldn't get out of their half. They struggled. Their passing went completely over. Why? Because we were all over them. And this is what we've been calling for this Liverpool side. We know they can do it. We've seen them do it over the last year. Yeah, but it just always felt like we were so easy to play against. But boys, today, an unbelievable performance for every single player out there. And look, and another shout out to Kirkes. Bar Saka going past him once in that first half when he dragged it back, I thought Kirkes didn't let him move. And then he took him off in the second half. That just goes to show how well.
Second half, didn't he?
Exactly. That just tells you how good Kirk has played and how shit Arsenal were in that second half. Make no mistake, we made them look shit. They didn't play shit. We made them look shit. So
yeah, if we'd have had a striker or two available to us tonight, we'd have won that.
I was praying Ekitike played today. Honestly, if we had Ekitike playing today, man, I think we could have done an Italian job on him. Yeah. Turned up to a place, done a job, and chipped. But it wasn't meant to be. But we still have to be proud of the lads. They put up a fantastic performance. And yeah, look, I have to give. There's a lot of people in the comments, and including Ben and Avi, who actually called it that Liverpool will go there and get a result. And even when we did this show before, big up to you guys, because I'll be honest, there is no way I thought Liverpool were gonna put up a performance like that. And boy, did they put up a performance, man.
I'll be honest. I'm willing us to do well. I'm willing us to improve. But I didn't think we had that performance in us. If I'm being honest tonight, it wasn't just the results, because we could have got battered. They hit the bar a couple of times, a couple of ones cleared off the line, and we got a 0-0, and we'd all be sat here thinking, you know what, we were really lucky, and it was just one of those things. But it was the performance. It was the performance that made a huge difference. The result is obviously wonderful, but the performance gives you so much hope all of a sudden that it felt as though they've like, I don't know what to say, snapped out of it, but it's like whatever the trance has been over the last few weeks and months, you think to yourself, is that now a foundation to at least put some performances together? I'm not gonna start saying we're gonna start battering teams, because it won't happen, because we haven't got the forward options. But if we can start putting performances together of that caliber, we'll be absolutely fine.
Gene, were you surprised about how lackluster Arsenal were tonight?
I don't know whether it was the occasion. I don't know if this was their, their biggest game and they sort of fumbled, maybe a bit of that. But Asim, you sometimes have to give a lot of credit to Liverpool. We stifled them, especially in that second half. They didn't really create anything. I was expecting a wave upon a wave. And yes, I think there was about 15 minutes in that first half where I felt, you know what, they've pinned us in here. They might catch us. But they didn't really create unbelievable or many opportunities in this match. I thought defensively we were sound. We packed the midfield. We kept control, and we kept them at arm's length. And in that second half, I was expecting Arsenal. I was thinking, when they're going to get that 10 minutes, they're going to get that 10 minutes. Is it the next 10 minutes? Then it got to 70, and I thought, you know what? This is when our legs go. This is when, in the last previous games, maybe they'll make some changes, and we'll be tiring, and then new players will come on and cause us problems. They didn't do jack shit. It was a fucking Jesus header in the 92nd minute, which was a problem, and a Martinelli shot in the second half. That's all they did. They didn't do anything.
The header, wasn't it?
That was right at the end there. Right at the end.
Right at the very end, But it was. We saw that graphic before, didn't you? It was like 0 shots on 80 minutes or something.
Yeah.
And the last time they had a shot was in the 44th minute.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Yeah. So I think they did bottle it to a little bit to a certain
they did.
degree.
100%.
They didn't go for us, did they, at all? But I think they were scared of our pace. Funnily enough, I didn't think we had much pace, but Frimpong give them that outlet.
Sorry, guys, I had to just attend to something. Let me just tell you one thing, The ascendancy, I keep using that word, it was with Arsenal today. You want to be the champions, go on, beat the champions. Go and beat the Premier League champions of last season. This was probably our weakest team that we will field at Emirates for a long, long time. Next season, I expect our natural forwards to be there. I expect changes in our midfield area. Expect a couple of defenders to come in. We will not be as weak as we've been tonight in terms of the selection and what was available to us for many a year. Arsenal, they would have been rubbing their lips. They would have been doing this and saying, we can take it to Liverpool. We can take it to them. There was not just Asim. There was loads of Arsenal fans. I was shitting bricks myself. There were loads of other fans thinking Liverpool were getting a good hiding today. And rightly so, given what's happened in the last 8-9 games. But we held firm. And not only held firm, we played them off the park at the best of times. We had most of possession second half. A Gabriel Jesus header. That's all they've got to show in that second half. That's all they've got. Nothing else. The shot that hit the bar or hit the post in the first half, that's all they had. They buckled under pressure, which tells me, Asim, they might walk this league. Congratulations to them. But when it comes buttered in the Champions League, when it comes to that final sort of hurdle, there will be nowhere near. They haven't got this. They haven't got.
Avi, who had this tonight? One guy who had this tonight was your boy Milos. Talk to
Milos, Jorge. Look, he was a warrior, wasn't he, today? Battled. Saka didn't get a sniff. He didn't get a sniff. First 10 minutes, he was looking sharp and looking quick, but Kirk has matched him for pace, strength, standing tackle. I still, and this was more noticeable second half, this, Asim, when you're running against a Medowiki who can go right very quickly, this stifles your speed. The hands behind your thing.
What are you trying to do?
No, you know how he ties his hands back.
All right, okay.
To avoid the handball. A lot of them do it, don't they?
But Ben, that stifles your speed ever so slightly.
You haven't got the energy to be able to bear from the standing position.
Madueke he's quicker than Saka, with all due respect. But look, a solid performance from him. Asim, he's getting better and better and better. And the conditions weren't great for him tonight. Raining, and also fancying it. Could have made mistakes here and there, could have committed 2 fouls, but he kept a very disciplined game. So happy with him. Bradley battled. Ibu Konate, Asim, I've gone for him. Many days, many weeks.
Can you change his name again, please?
Called him all sorts. Ibrahima Konate deserves that name today, deserves that title. And look,
just because Simon says.
I actually don't want to lose him. Look, I don't want to lose him. But tonight, again, didn't put a foot wrong. Did not put a foot wrong. Verge led from the back. The quartet at the back, Asim, that was a very prouding performance, and they can all hold up their head high. And listen, again, we are talking in isolation. McAllister, he's been shit in a pigsty for many months now. But tonight, yeah, that South American grit that I look for, that I won, he had it. He had it today.
What impressed you about the game, Asim?
I'm the courage. You know what? After the first half, especially how we've been playing over the last 2-3 months, Gene, I've been thinking, you know what? Liverpool are just going to run out of legs. We went man to man in the first half, but we also really dropped off in a really, really low block at times, defending with like a, 6 across the back. And I thought, is this sustainable in the second half? And the onus and the responsibility is on the home side. And I thought, you know what? Liverpool are just going to lack a bit of legs, just like what they've been showing over the course of the last 5-6 weeks. We have to give them the courage because we played the second half on the halfway line. We sustained attacks against the best team in the league, and we were sitting pretty on top of the league. So, and we played football. Yes, you could argue saying, look, you wouldn't engineer so much control like that once you start playing, a few natural wingers, a proper number 9 striker who's going to be, not involved like a Haaland type. I saw he got around about 7 touches against Brighton last night. Isak is not going to be. He's going to be more involved than Haaland, but Ekitike is going to be involved a lot more than Isak. So I can still get that argument where Liverpool are just flooding the midfield and making sure that even when they lose the ball, they don't get smothered and counter-attacked. But I thought Kanate, Gravenberch's mopping up was brilliant at times. And when we had the ball, Gene, Arsenal, the onus was on them, especially I think around about the 60th minute. The crowd got involved. Arteta were pushing them, but they didn't have the courage because we had players like Wirtz who were dropping off into midfield, into the little half spaces, and asking the question from Saliba, asking the question from Gabriel, are you going to follow me into no man's land? Have you got the bottle? And watch that go in the first half, that moment when Bradley hit the bar. Look how that move started. It has started right at the far side of the halfway line, and Gabriel is in no man's land.
Yeah.
And that probably scared them. I thought, they thought, you know what, we can't play football against, and we can't follow someone like Wirtz who is going to go into no man's land. And sometimes he didn't really know himself where he's going. But I thought Liverpool's quartet connecting with Florian Wirtz were really, really good. And McAllister, Szoboszlai ran his socks off. Ryan Gravenberch, he's one of the most important reasons why Arsenal could not get super aggressive, because he's one of the most press-resistant players in the world. Never mind the Premier League, in the world. And he was a joy to watch. And he's not doing it against any old team. He's doing it against the most, anyway, off the ball, Arsenal, applauded. Whether it's in a 4-4-2 mid-block, the moment they trigger, the moment they go, and it goes a collective, really squeeze teams, Ryan Gravenberch escapes all those. And it's not a surprise why some of the, in some of the moments where Zuma Mendy and especially Declan Rice could not get near him, because with the moment he drops the shoulder, it's all about the timing, and he opens the game up. And that's what scared Arsenal, because they really could not get touch tight. And I'm really proud. I think all 3 midfielders, maybe not as much as Szoboszlai needed that performance, but I think Gravenberch and McAllister especially needed that performance against that team, because they need to make sure they carry this momentum, even from this 90 minutes, pack it in and take it into every single game. But I thought Liverpool were really, really good. And on and off the ball. And off the ball, I'm telling you now, Liverpool stopped the supply into Zubamendi. And I would go as far as saying that Liverpool stopped the supply to Zubamendi and Arsenal didn't know what to do.
Asim, can I slightly come in a little bit, and all 3 of you can just chime in. And the only criticism that I have, could we have been a little bit, could the shackle have come off towards the last 10 minutes, maybe like a change? I get it, we had the possession, we were in total ball control, and maybe Slot had kind of maybe said, look, Let's just go with this 11 and let's settle for that draw, which is a fantastic result, by the way. Look, I'm not saying that, but maybe in the last sort of 7-8 minutes, go on, Arnie, put someone on. Just get that last sort of, maybe
we got two keepers on the bench.
Look, obviously, I'm looking at maybe a Rio or a Chiesa. I know Rio was never going to probably get on, but just go on, Arnie. Just show a little bit of metal and just pair someone in.
I don't think you can blame him.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Avi. But then, can you imagine the fallout if they put two forwards on and then they nick it at the end with a corner or something? That might not have, because Rio and Chiesa weren't defending the box or whatever. He would have got absolutely lambasted.
And the only reason I say that because I thought Cody Gakpo was really bad. I did think he was bad for all the battling and stuff. Every time I was watching him, he was committing a foul. I thought he was bad. Whereas someone like a Rio, at least once he gets the ball, that close control, he could probably get the better of who was there right back today? Timber. He could probably do a trick or two and commit Timber more. Gakpo didn't do enough. He didn't probe enough. The battling stuff is good, but I thought he was the weak. If I'm going to call someone out, I thought he was a weak link in our team.
The only thing, Ben, that I felt was missing from Liverpool. Of course, look, we missed Ekatike, but I just felt we had a few opportunities where the final ball really let us down.
Oh yeah,
a couple of times where I thought, you know what, Frimpong, Kirkes, couple of times, little things. You thought we could have done a little bit better, could have released the ball a bit quicker on certain occasions. That is my only real issue with the team today.
I thought Frimpong did great, but I remember reading a few things in pre-season about Frimpong always beating his man, but his problem is his end product. But that one where he roasted Lewis Kelly, all he had to do is just slide it into Wirtz for a tap in, and he put it behind him, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
And then the other one where he put it across the box when he should have had a shot himself or took his man on. So it's just decision making. But considering what he is and what he's given us over the last few games, I think he's been an unbelievable bright spark. But he's now going to have to be reverting to right back because you're not going to be able to rely on Gomez anytime. But I tell you what I will say, I know it's not been pretty, I know it's been ugly, but Slot's done his job to a certain degree, and that we're now 10 games unbeaten. Hughes needs to do his job now. He needs to go and get them a right back / centre half, because we can't expect to do much with just for Jeremy Frimpong and Joe Gomez at right back. That's just not realistic. Aaron Bradley was he's not probably the long-term solution. He's only a good squad player, so we definitely need some bodies in the door now.
Asim, today I saw a lot of similarities of the way Leverkusen set up, and sometimes in trouble. We saw Leverkusen hit 93rd, second minute winners, 90th minute plus in Alonso's title-winning season. Today we used Frimpong, that outlet, that getaway, that pace that we need, take us down the pitch, get us 30, 40 yards further up there at the Emirates. And I remember at Leverkusen, Xhaka and Andrich and Grimaldo with the cross field passes with his left foot, they would always look for Frimpong. If they were under the cosh, Frimpong's your outlet. We weren't under the cosh too many times, but what an outlet. And I think this is where Salah, inshallah, like you guys say, wins the AFCON. He has an asset week in, week out. If Frimpong can stay fit, he is Salah's asset, because Salah's legs may go, but he cuts in. Yeah, he comes in a lot more in that sort of trio where you got maybe Ekatike, Salah, and Wirtz off the left. Frimpong is your fourth attacker because his pace, there's no one that can live with that pace. No fullback out there.
Well said. I want to talk about McAllister. I want to stick with McAllister. Avi, Cheens has had his take on it. I think
me and you are going to be eating a bit of humble pie today together.
Happily so. This
was the game that we've always said.
It's lovely.
You first mentioned it. With McAllister struggles. He has struggled at Emirates in previous seasons. He has struggled. The physicality, the pace of the game, the speed, it has bypassed him at the Emirates the last 2 seasons. But yeah, Asim, I'm happy to applaud him, give him his glamorize him tonight, and give him all the plaudits, because that was a South American. That was the dog that I've been waiting for. He can play pretty. We know him on the ball. We know he can play on the deck. We know close control. But the work rate, the tackling, the sheer tenacity to get there first, to win the second balls, McAllister was there.
Ben, I'm going to ask you, look, we engineered in a lot of control. We sustained attacks and all that sort of stuff. But some people will say, look, we didn't create, proper goal-scoring opportunities. And that was probably because of we played a lot of midfielders, Wirtz got involved, and all the rest of them. But the moment we start playing, some strikers, we're going to start looking really open. Is that for a conversation for another day? And we just have to say, look, we control Arsenal really, really well. Or should we start thinking some sort of semi/long-term issues as well?
No, I think that's fair, Asim. I think at the end of the day, the acid test comes against Burnley next week. Forget about Barnsley. You put freaking any team out you want against them, and it shouldn't really be an issue. But the acid test comes against Barnsley next week, when we've got to then take the onus on them and go and get the results and get the 3 points at home, because I think we've all agreed, that those sorts of performances with this sort of setup are absolutely ideal away from home against top teams. We've all said it, haven't we? We're not expecting to go to a top team away from home and batter them. But to put a report performance like that in is exactly what we are capable of doing. But the acid test and the real test comes when you're playing your bottom 10 teams at Anfield, and you need to unlock them. And you need to, because controlling the game is one thing, but unlocking and opening up teams is a different kettle of fish altogether. But having said all that, I think everyone's probably, in fairness, you look at how strong the league is this year. To open up teams who are playing a low block, you need pacey wide players and you need clinical finishers, and we haven't got any of them at the moment. The closest we've got to that is Gakpo, and he's not a pacey winger and he's not a clinical finisher. He's half and half of both. So I think definitely, if they want to make a serious push to rescue anything other than a laboured top 5 position from this season, then they need to back up in January.
Ben, I want to ask you about Gakpo. Avi had a bit of say on Gakpo. I thought he wasn't great, and the thing is, problem with the reason why we're playing with his deficiencies are outlined even more is I feel like because we've got so many players in midfield, the likes of Wirtz cutting in, Szoboszlai inside, Ryan Gravenberch, and all the rest of them. The emphasis on one or maybe two, if you count Frimpong, which you can because he's playing on paper at right wing today, it increases. The responsibility increases. When we had the likes of Diaz, had the likes of Salah, obviously he's gone an AFCON. When the ball does go out wide, we're crying out for someone to go have a go at someone. And I don't feel like look, he didn't have a lot of opportunities, but some half opportunities, you sometimes, especially in a tight game, you need to take advantage of it. Look how many times, it's all about the appetite. It's appetite and maybe courage as well, just to keep on going. If you lose it once or twice, you're allowed to lose it in those advanced positions. It's fine. We've still got plenty of people back, especially if you're pinning in the opposition. But I feel like when we've got so many midfielders playing on the night, you have to make sure that wide outlet is unbelievable. And fair play to Frimpong. He went on the outside 2-3 times. I feel like sometimes with Frimpong, he tries to play the perfect ball. And maybe that's the reason why he did get a lot of assists last year in the Leverkusen side. Some fullbacks get wide, take a half a yard and put it in a zone, and you're
a percentage ball.
Percentage ball.
Yeah.
You're relying on the number 9 to make that movement and bang. Your job is to put it in the area. The striker's job is to make that movement first. I feel like Frimpong looks up, and that's why he gets a lot of cutbacks. The cutbacks are premeditated, and I get it. That's his style, but it's a smaller margin of error. That's my point, Ben. Just on Gakpo, I think one of the biggest priorities, not maybe still in January and in the summer, it's just we've talked about Semenyo and this and that, but at the highest level, you just want a bit more from him.
Asim,
I agree. Sorry, go on.
Just coming on that with Gakpo, Asim, he's good as not a second fiddle, but he needs competition, real competition. Asim's mentioned it many times, the Rio talk, and he was going to be the one that pushes Gakpo, which kind of is nonsense when we look at the amount of minutes, barring Slot's word of how many Rio's got. But he needs like a Diaz almost. He needs another player who's big money, who's 25, 26, like similar to what Diaz was 27, but gives him real competition. And not so much, Asim, he finds himself in positions, it's game acumen sometimes, just a bit of intelligence and game acumen of, he does the same thing, but he couldn't even do that today. Like get across to the right and take a shot. He didn't find himself in great positions, but every time he had the ball, it was dud. Every break was breaking down there. Kirkus, to be fair, tried to help him as much, and Wirtz was trying to get closer on that left-hand side. But sometimes it's just sheer game acumen, and that position severely needs addressing. That's the first position. I know we talk about centre backs and the lack of, but left wing or a left-sided attacker next season, that's got to be one of the biggest priorities. If you've got to splash the cash on a Bikola or a Gordon or Nico Williams, that kind of ilk, then you've got to spend it.
Yeah. One thing I would give credit to him is he put a shift in tonight. Especially the way Liverpool were defending, is he was responsible. Liverpool were going man to man. So if Timber was going to the top of the box, he had to follow him. And the first 10 minutes, he was partnering Van Dijk and Kanate at the center, the heart of defense. But you have to make sure if you're going to do that, you can't switch off, because the downside of man to man press is the moment you lose the man, it's chutti. Because you're marking men and you're not marking space, and there's no one to cover. So fair play to him. I thought he did put a good shift in.
The one thing I will say about Gakpo, just very quickly, is that he's not everybody's cup of tea, and I do think you need an alternative sort of option to him, because he is a bit of a one-trick pony, and he does tend to do the same thing. But when he is on it, he does give you the numbers. And for 40 million quid of what he cost, he is a really solid squad player to have. He's not going to kick off. He looks like a good egg around the dressing room. He generally is always fit. He will put a shift in. He's a big physical presence. He held the ball up a little bit tonight, and when he is on it, he does get goals. I think he's our second top scorer still this season. Which, I know it's not on a high bar, but generally speaking, he does get you goals. He does get you goals and output, and I think as part of the squad, he's perfectly okay. He's a bit of a flat track bully. He's somebody who generally speaking, you can be against those bottom 10 teams.
And you need a flat track bully. Yeah, you need a flat track bully. You need a flat track bully.
The two full seasons he's played with us, he's a 25 GA a season, which is absolutely brilliant numbers for a left side attacker. But what he needs, Ben, he needs stiff competition. That's the thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if he had seen, sorry, Asim, if he had seen a 17-year-old ignite the Premier League, like we saw in like little glimpses of pre-season when he scored against Bilbao Rio, if he had seen Rio while he was injured, Gakpo was injured, or just sitting out, and he was creating and scoring goals, and the winner against Newcastle, if he was doing that on a regular basis, say the shackles were off Rio this season, then I'm sure Gakpo's game, intelligence, acumen, and his performances would result in a better GA.
Arsenal there, who are likely, possibly going to win the league, they're two left-sided options, Trossard and Martinelli. I'd back Gakpo over the season to get more output than both of them. And they're in what will be a title-winning team. What did he get last season? Like 18 goals or something like that? When we're playing well and we're
27 GA.
He can contribute.
Yeah. One thing I would say is the managers mentioned, even though I did disagree with the statement and saying, look, these teams are starting, they're not, if only we can play like PSG or against PSG in terms of that brand of football. And he was talking about the low block. One of the guys who's going to suffer against a low block, and since the teams, how the teams have changed against us since the back end of last season, Gakpo is going to suffer the most. What I mean about that is when you do come up against a 5-man defense or a really low block, even if it's a 4-man defense, you need a bit more spark, a bit more creativity, a bit more combination play. He's a guy who's got a bit of space. You give him the ball to feet, he takes it inside and he shoots. And last season, that ball from Salah, from where he cut inside and that back post, where he got a lot of headers, and that sort of out to in run from attacking the back post was a strength of Gakpo's. When teams come and park a bus, you need a bit more. And that's one of the reasons why probably Kirkez is really frustrated. Kirkez is another player who needs space. But when we do come up against low block, he needs a creator. And that's one of the reasons why he's looked better when Wirtz is playing across there. But which sort of segues into the next topic of Florian Wirtz, Gene. He's played in about 10 million positions this year. We saw him in a false nine, although it was slightly fluid. But I thought Florian Wirtz was really good. And at times, I was frustrated. Not at Florian Wirtz, Gene, but sometimes he played a really cute pass down the.
There's one in the middle, on the box, in the box,
wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think it's Frimpong on the other side.
Yeah, other side.
Oh yeah. No, I know which one you mean. I know which one you mean.
You wanted to lay it on
to reverse pass into bit.
Yeah.
What are you doing, bro?
I feel like sometimes, Gene, sometimes Wirtz plays a little cute pass that he needs the guy to be on his level, and they don't see it. They don't see it. But I thought,
you know what? Sorry, Asim, but just watch that moment back again. Frimpong doesn't read it, but if you watch the move unfold, it goes to Kerkez, and the ball nearly goes past Kerkez because he's just stood there, absolutely buzzing off that Wirtz pass, and it's like he was tranced in the moment, and he was like, "Oh my word, what happened then?" And it ends up going back to Alisson.
It's almost as if he has to dumb down a little bit, Asim. You know how we talk about Gakpo's game acumen needs to go further up? It's almost like Wirtz has to just like peg back the imagination. Honestly, that's what it is. Yeah. He has to peg back the imagination because the players, like we said, it's wavelengths and whatnot. I tell you what, though.
His first time balls are unreal.
I don't know who it was who challenged him. The one that stuck their leg out.
Trossard, I think.
Trossard. Outside the box.
Was it a pen? Was it a pen?
That's a free kick outside of the box. 10 times out of 10. I said not 9 times. 9 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10. That's a free kick. I don't know why. I don't know why.
One that we got against us is what I said.
I don't know why the rules are always bent in the box.
It's not bent.
I don't think that was a pen.
Van Dijk's challenge earlier on this season at Brentford.
Yeah. That was harsh.
There's nothing too dissimilar.
Look at Brentford.
Yes. Fair point. Fair point.
Yeah.
I don't think that was a pen. Go on, James.
And he gave that because he thought it was outside of the box, didn't he? And then the referee, the VAR said it was actually inside the box. So he's like, I wouldn't have given it if it was in the box, but it was outside the box, so I'll give it.
Asim, if that's not a pen, is it a free kick for you outside the box?
Yeah, but the bar needs to be higher for me in the box. That's all my thing.
There's no mess. Let's be not beat around the bush. There's some fouls that happen outside the box. You get. I think in
Champions League,
you're right. I get you. But if we start giving that'll be 5 penalties every game.
And the way we should judge it is that would we be fuming if that was given against us? We would.
Of course we would, man.
So therefore, that's when you probably have to admit that it would have been a very, very fortuitous one. He's already had one in the Champions League this season when he got pushed in the back, and it was like,
come on, that was not a foul.
That was never a foul. So
he's only saying that because it was Bastoni behind him. That's why.
It's the truth. Anyway, Asim, do the supers first.
We'll do the supers. But I mean, I get you because if you got it, it would have been technically a penalty, but I thought it would have been soft. But I think
in the Champions League,
I think in the Champions League, I would have taken it.
In the Champions League, that's a pen.
Okay. We'll go through the supers. If anything that you want to comment on and elaborate on, and then feel free, boys. Vasudem Inazi, thank you so much. Gravenberg was outstanding. Maka good as well. You know what? It's been a while that I saw that little statement there at the end. Maka good as well. Bloody hell. Read it again. And fair play to him. I'm really happy for him, honestly. Next season, if City/Liverpool sort themselves out, they win the Premier League. City, by the way, thank you so much for sending this through. If we had more, we win 100%. We lacked end product, and Arsenal plus Martinelli are bitches. No need for stars today, City. No needs for stars. Call them what you like. I'm a big up member for 6 months. As Avi said, if you predict us to lose, you're basically wanting us to lose.
Asim knows where that comes from private conversations, and Asim knows that's tongue-in-cheek. He knows what it is.
Skip to my Lou humble pie ? I don't know what he means about that.
I think that's why I mentioned it. I think it's to do, unless you came late to the show, is to do with that's what we said about Maka, about how we've doubted him all season. Yeah, today was brilliant.
100%. Ash, big up Ash, always supporting the channel. Hope you're well, brother. Great second half, in my opinion. Credit to Slot, got it right. Kirkes and Mac. Hope that second half is the turning point for the year. Only negative, someone should have decked Martinelli, and that pathetic attitude. He'll never walk alone. Well said.
I have to come in for that. You should have fucking crunched the bastard. I've just spit all this tea all over, man. We should have fucking crunched the bastard.
I'd love to get them in the
Are
Champions League.
Are you pissed off about the tea? Or are you pissed off about the Martinelli?
Yeah, I'm pissed off about my team.
Chada cup kharab ho gaya.
Yeah, listen, they're lying, man. He deserved us to. One of us, I actually totally agreed with Gary Neville. He was one of us would have crunched him, took a red. That's ridiculous what he did.
Kanate, to be fair, Kanate, to be fair, did come before.
You could tell it was a bad injury. You could tell because it was as soon as it happened, he's putting his hand up. Martinelli knew he put his fucking knee behind him first so he doesn't get onto the pitch. Yeah,
he booted the ball at him, didn't he?
And he actually said, to be fair to that, Ben, he said sorry because when he did it, he actually touched his back. I saw that. So that's give him credit. But the son of a gun, for what he did, one of our guys should have fucking crunched him. They're allowed him.
I would love to get them in the quarterfinals.
You know who we needed at that point? It reminded me of Curtis, at Everton.
Yeah.
At Everton, he needed one of those moments. One of those.
Yeah. Actually, really pissed me off. That did. That's really.
Just get the buddy to make another cup of chai, yaar. What are you doing?
Oh, buddy's everywhere.
Buddy Segi.
You know what? It did him no favors either because it lost any momentum that we were building in the last few minutes as well, didn't it? It just sort of killed the momentum of the game, and then it played out then without any threat.
I know, but
carry on, boys.
They instigated
that. Comment about I think Cody, I know what I expect from him now. Sadly, Frimpong, though he's not a winger, but I expected more from him in the final third. Granted, I know there's no box presence. I think there was some box presence today, especially when you were trying to support him and get into the box. But I don't think it was about box presence or the lack of striker tonight. Maybe some players, some sort of balls when McAllister played it into Wirtz and combined. Wirtz turned and then you play that pass to the striker who's on the edge of on the shoulder of the defense. But from wide positions, I don't think there was a lack of box presence. I think just the delivery wasn't good enough. In all fairness, J Knight, thank you so much. Bradley is a bad one. Not putting the money down for Gehi tomorrow is nothing short of criminal. Not bringing Rio on when they were there for the taking was the problem. The problem now.
Second half, I'm okay with what Slot did. Rio, with all due respect, 17-year-old, bring him on. He wasn't going to take any chances. But that first bit, 100 yard. If they don't buy a defender now, man, I am going to be fuming.
Asim, I tell you what,
it's criminal, man.
Arteta was absolutely desperate tonight. I tell you why.
He was, man.
He threw in the kitchen sink. He threw in 5 subs today.
He was trying to calm the crowd down as
well. He was on the pitch. He was on the pitch.
He tried everything. He wanted that tonight. He wanted that tonight because you know why? There will be a lot of fans, purists of the game, that will be questioning this Arsenal team and how great they are. Are they great or have they been good and top of the league because how rubbish City have? City are not the City from previous years. And we definitely have shown we're not the Liverpool this season.
Look at the state of that bench that they had tonight. The bench tonight, £270 million bench. They've got the best squad in the league by far. The makeup of the league this season is even geared to like set pieces and physicality, which is what their strength is. If they don't win the league this season, then I'd be getting rid of Arteta because how many more chances does he get when he spent $1 billion?
Right,
next
said,
super chat,
boys,
guys.
I'm going tomorrow, Gina. Tomorrow, Chip and Chin.
Okay, take it.
Okay.
Right. Ali Kazmi, big up. Thank you very much for your super chat.
Where do I end the show? End the show.
Don't end the show in Matu.
Amazing from the midfield. Imagine if we had a suitable DM and back to a proper pressing structure. Can see the vision with Wirtz and a speedy winger. Yeah, man. I think look, we need reinforcements. We need some players in this team right now, and whether we're gonna get them in Jan, obviously none of us really know. But we have to make a move in January. That is a must, and there is no I'm not gonna accept us not going into the market. And even more so is if Mark Gay goes to City and we don't sign anyone, guys, I'm going to be on flippers.
Yeah.
The next one, big up, Sanji goes benchod. Arsenal couldn't beat our slot side, missing more Isak and Tikka Masala. We were relying on Golgappa up front. I'm proud of our boys. I hope the Gunners bottle it like a Mita in Sharabi.
Go on,
Oh,
son.
big
Big up.
Big
Big
up,
up.
man. Thank you very much for your super
Very
chat.
fun.
That was actually a good one, man. I'll give you that. Yeah, boys, Asim, I think that's the super chat done.
Ho gaya. Ani's, any comments, because my batteries died. Any comments from Slot or Arteta post match, boys, from the presser or
No.
TV?
Nothing's dropped at all yet, which is strange, to be honest. There should be some stuff coming out now, but maybe it's just a bit delayed. But yeah, we'll probably
Gene,
get some stuff about
S. J
football.
saying you missed the last one.
Koi pata nahi. Let me just try and find it then. Anyway, carry on, you lot. No, that was Sanjay's. That was the last one. Just put it up.
That's it. Yeah, that was the last one. Yeah.
Yeah. Atik just had seen the replay of the penalty. He says Wirtz was a definite pen.
You know what? I actually get the shout because he did go past a couple of players, but I think the ball was gone as well.
Oh, Juve.
Yeah.
We don't have any players left. Why are we getting rid of Chiesa?
Well, the only thing about Chiesa, the only thing I can think of there is this. We need a slot in the non-homegrown to be able to bring in somebody who's not
that's the
qualifies as homegrown. So maybe that is a thing. If they do get Chiesa out, then all of a sudden it does open up an opportunity for us to be able to bring in a real player. But then that doesn't apply to Gueye. And the Gueye, you know, the money's there. City have even made it clear that they want to bring him in January, and we want to wait till the summer. But we don't have a choice now. We don't have a choice. So for this, like, I can understand if Liverpool behind closed doors are like, we really want Barcola, we really want Anthony Gordon, we really want X, Y, Z, but they're only available in the summer. We don't know that, but if they know that, and that's who they're going to go and get in the summer, then I can live with that. I can live with that. But I've got there's no excuse for Gueye. He's there. He's there to be bought without a shadow of a doubt. He can play right back. He can play centre back, and he gives us a lot more options in defence. And it's a no-brainer for me. It's an absolute no-brainer.
Man of the match for you, Gene?
Victor Gyökeres. He is fucking dirty. I ain't lying to you. Victor Gyökeres. Yeah, honest to God. Right. I don't know what to say, but I don't know how the F they spent that money on that player.
Apparently,
he's just shit.
Apparently,
in the words of Gene, dog shit.
Dog
apparently,
shit.
apparently,
Gyökeres.
Apparently, curries are after him, Gene. He's the best fridge going.
Didn't he have something like
Victor Gyökeres, man. I don't know what.
He had like one touch in the second half.
Sure,
he had like one touch. I know he was only on for like 20 minutes of the second half.
That's literally a
one shot.
I thought he said something else there.
No, he is a Kota, man. That means donkey, by the way, man. Honestly,
as soon as Havertz is fit, Gyökeres will be on the bench.
Oh, Havertz is twice the footballer.
Yeah, honestly. Absolutely. Yeah.
You know what? I would probably even play. The thing is, he probably played Gyökeres. He wants to play Gyökeres because he runs the channels. Merino doesn't run the channels.
Yeah.
Is that right? Is that right?
Is that right? That's wild. If that's right.
that would be wild. That would be wild.
He's a Nunez light, and that's saying something.
Right, you know what, J Slot, I'm gonna read your thingy, man, but I can't put it up. Rahman Ali, come on, man, you've gone a bit too hard today. I'll read your thing here. Brock Lesnar.
Oh my! You can read that. I ain't reading that.
Brock Lesnar, he was hiding today.
You know what? Let Ben read it.
No, don't Ben. That's too much. Yeah, he was hiding today. That's what makes it worse. Players who hide rather than play poor at the worst. Because honestly, he was just the shite. He's just so shit.
Look at Ben, he's trying to read it.
Who do you have in ya? Oh, sorry. I'm obviously going to need to get some translation.
No, you don't need to learn that one.
Okay.
That's getting clipped. That's getting
I'm changing. Just change subject. Listen, have you done this one?
Yeah, I think I have. Yeah, I have.
You're a nutcase. You're a nutcase. You're gonna get me drilled, bro.
We're gonna get cancelled at this race, boys. Come on.
Okay. No. Joking aside, your man of the match, Gene.
Look, Asim, if I'm honest, for me, I thought Gravenberch was unbelievable today.
Yeah.
But I'm giving it to my number 10, Alexis McAllister.
No, he's giving it to the.
Oh, of course, yeah. Sorry, he's number 7, isn't he? Flipping heck.
Ben, your man of the match. Chat, get involved. I think there'll be a proper, like a split today. Not just with 2 players. I think there'll be about 3, 4.
Can I give it to Sloth for the banter?
You can.
You know what? He actually deserves a lot of credit today. Can we give the managers a lot of credit today? Even though
a lot of people thought that we didn't have that performance in there.
We didn't.
You know, you have words like demotivated. They're not running for them. They're not playing. You know, this, that, and the other. That performance was not much more than we could have expected given the circumstances. But in terms of on the pitch, I thought Gravenberch was excellent. It was his best game for a long time.
Yeah, I agree. I think if I had to choose, I'd go Gravenberch. I think Szoboszlai had a really good game as well, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, you just have to watch. There's a moment where really late in the game, and he was doing it all game, to be fair to him, but it was around about the 80th or the 85th minute where he screens the ball into Zubamendi, so he has to start really compact and really, 10 yards deep. He jumps on the keeper or the centre back in Gabriel, and then once he jumps, he doesn't just get back in. He legs it 20 yards to the touchline and stops a pass, and then Klopp applauds him. That is honestly, whether it's with or without Salah, he still has to do it, and we should protect him, because if I want. And people are saying, look, he doesn't give us enough and this and that. Sometimes when after 5-6 weeks of him doing that, because we don't have the natural destroyer, because there's deficiencies in our out of possession structure, you are going to really tire these boys out. And I feel like Szoboszlai did look a bit tired. And you know what? He did have that game where he was suspended. Was he suspended or injured? I can't remember, but he did miss a game.
Yeah.
But I think he might have needed it, But these sort of games where you're not expected to, in theory, have a lot of the ball. But I thought Liverpool, and you know what? He showed a lot of composure. The amount of times he was telling his teammates to calm down, and where McAllister, calmed the football down as well, where little passes into midfield and back again. Yeah. They seem nothing balls, but they played just to get the opposition out. And that is a testament to how Liverpool played tonight. They were trying to entice the press from Arsenal because they were confident in beating it, because they had the likes of Wirtz coming deep. And honestly, I'm really glad for all of the players tonight. Kirkes, Kanate, Alisson was always Alisson, but I think Kirkes as well. I'm happy for him, and I just hope he uses it as a springboard. But look, Kirkes won't have a problem in games like this. I think he'll have a problem against, just like we were talking about Cody Gakpo, where teams are just sat off and there's no space in behind, and where you just need a bit something different. And that's the sort of games where you struggle. But look, we just need to make sure we use this as some sort of springboard. And you guys are right. I think if we were thinking about not going into the market about a week ago, honestly, we should be on the phone. Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards, and Arne Slot those two should be on the phone to Arne Slot right now. However they're getting back to Liverpool tonight, whether it's by air, whether it's by train, or they're stuck in the snow, do a bloody call and make sure you back your man and your manager, whatever else you want to call him, because we are desperate, absolutely desperate. And if I'm really honest, I can't pin my hopes on Joe Gomez staying fit for the rest of the season, because let's be honest, deep down we all know it's not going to happen. Deep down,
100%. You know what? I'm gutted about Bradley. It's a real bad one for him. I feel really bad for him. But I will say it means that Frimpong now knows that he's pretty much like playing right back for every game. Yeah. And generally speaking, he has stayed fit. And I'm quite excited about Frimpong now, to be honest, because I think to myself, his final ball obviously needs work on. But because he's got that raw pace, I think you can coach the defensive side of it into him. He's not young, but he's not a finished article either. And I think there's a real quality right back in there somewhere. Obviously, he's a lot better going forward, but then generally speaking, you want your fullbacks to be better going forward. You know, he should be doing minimal defending in general anyway. You know, you look at someone like Timber, who's a really good defensive right back, but he still spends most of his time going forward, doesn't he? Because most of the teams you play against, you've got them penned in. And I think he'd be a massive asset at right back. If you have someone in front of him, whoever that might be, who's unleashing him and allowing him to make those overlapping runs, I think he'll cause havoc. So, but he can't play every game between now and the end of the season. And Joe Gomez certainly can't. So they need an option. So now you just say you've got to get that centre back who can play right back as well. And it's Mark Way, isn't it?
Yeah.
All day long, twice on Sunday.
I mentioned it in my little monologue when I gave Liverpool the credit, but I think you're right. There's a comment here. Asim talking about how Guardiola sat in the low block at the Emirates and how Slot dominated Arteta in the second half. Give his credit, please, 100%. And I mentioned it earlier on in the show, Hecky, that that's what's probably most impressed me tonight, because I thought Liverpool might lack the legs because of how we've been going down in games after 70 minutes. Ekitike and Wirtz getting cramp, and a few others getting injured or getting cramp as well. So you have to give credit how Liverpool played. Liverpool played against the league leaders at their home ground in the second half on the halfway line and sustained attacks, because they had the likes of Brian Gravenberch and Florian Wirtz coming in, facilitating the build-up and turning and going and combining. And they sustained attacks. And Arsenal at times could not get out because we either mopped up or the centre-backs, pinned in their striker, and it just kept them coming. And it forced, I think it was a triple substitution against from Arsenal, and Arteta did it. And you have to give the manager a lot of credit. Look, I touched on it. I asked the question about, will we look a bit more open against a striker? Yeah, maybe we will. And in theory, we will. But we'll also probably get, a few more moments if someone like Isak and Ekitike is on the pitch. But I thought you have Slot, marks out of 10. Gene might give him a 3 out of 10, but I'll give him my 8 out of 10 today. Well, I'm only joking. We don't like giving marks out of 10 on this channel, but if you were going to give a marks out of 10, it'll be, I think, a solid. Considering the options that you had, I think you have to give a 9 out of 10 to Slot today.
100%, you have to give him 9, man. That was a brilliant performance. None of us expected us to turn up to the Emirates and play like that and control them and dominate them, especially in that. We dominated Arsenal. That's the simple truth, especially in the second half.
Just said on Sky as well, which is rare coming from him. Like said, completely.
And that is not in. You have to give. It was the perfect performance. The only thing missing that why we're not giving him a 10 is we didn't win the game. That's the only reason we're not giving him a 10. Otherwise, it was a 10. It was a brilliant performance from him, man. And I'm honestly got to give the guy a lot of credit. But a couple of supers, guys. Ben, Asim, Gene, do we buy a centre-back this window? Surely. One answer, Asim. Yes or no?
Yeah. I think it'll be a player now who can play across the line.
Okay, Ben?
Yes.
I say yes as well. So someone say yesterday defends our attacks. The one thing I will say about why I think Gakpo might have stayed as him is in the first half, we were going long towards Gakpo quite a few times. He was our sort of out ball up against Timber. And I think maybe that was one of the reasons why he kept him on, thinking we might need him towards the last 10, 15 minutes to be the out ball. But we were fucking comfortable. That's the honest truth. We were comfortable. We didn't even, I don't even think we used that that much. If we're honest, so honest, can't complain with anything today.
That comment's taking the piss. I don't think you understood it.
A fuck knows, whatever the fuck it is, just carry on.
They're taking a piss out of Gakpo, like he breaks down all our attacks.
No, I know, but I'm just telling. I was actually backing Gakpo up there. That's what I'm saying. I understood it, but I'm saying I was talking about Gakpo. Why he kept him on till the end was because he was the out ball. I felt at times.
Yeah. And the thing is, look, Rio, if we were losing, I'd be going crazy at Slot if you didn't bring Rio. Let's be honest. We control the game. We had the ball. And although in hindsight, you'd like to Liverpool have a bit more creativity, because we're talking about Gakpo not even trying to go at Timber, but you can understand the decision today. even the most slot outers, I think we'll give him the benefit of the doubt tonight.
Yeah. This is healthy reading all of a sudden now, isn't it? You know, it's not perfect by any means, but it's a foundation, isn't it? 10 unbeaten, 5 wins, 5 clean sheets, top 4, cut more plastics.
I don't know.
but the stats wise, it's solid, isn't it?
No. Start wise, that was 100%. 1 second, Asim. You carry on.
Do you think there's a shout?
Sorry, Ben.
I was just going to say, do you think there's a shout to move Jones to right back?
Right now, because of
because all of a sudden Jones will be thinking he's been probably at one of our best players the last few games, and he was out the team tonight. I was really surprised that he didn't start. And yet, you look at that performance and think he doesn't get back in midfield all of a sudden, which is wild to think about it, but he doesn't.
No, because I think what he's going to do is he's going to play someone like Szoboszlai maybe from the right wing and just let Frimpong go.
And so play Frimpong all the time at right back.
Look, guys, if I'm honest, I think, I'm not trying to be thinking, but I think Salah will probably come back on Saturday.
Yeah.
I think they're probably going to get beat
against Ivory Coast.
Ivory Coast.
Who are they playing?
They're playing Ivory Coast, and they're a really good side.
They're the favourites, aren't they?
The one of, definitely, yeah. One of
them. Right, okay.
So I can't see Egypt going all the way and winning it. No chance. So they're playing on Saturday. I think he will be back. If I'm on, from what I think anyway, I think he will be back.
We've got a little bit of grace now, haven't we?
Yes.
Because we play Barnsley Monday, which obviously
exactly,
is what it is.
We can rest a little bit.
But we've got 9 days gap to Burnley, and then we've got 7-day gap to Newcastle.
Newcastle, yeah.
So
all
of a sudden, Newcastle look to me like our biggest threat for top 4.
Mate, we've got 2 home games, man. Yeah, we have to get 6 against the, because if you get beat by Newcastle, that's going to be a big problem then. I'm telling you, it'll be a big problem.
Well, if we manage to beat Burnley and Newcastle, then all of a sudden we'll be looking more at Villa and City than we will looking at the teams behind us, which is really, all of a sudden then you've got Ekitike back, you've got Salah back, and then it won't be like a million miles away before hopefully he's back.
It's just this next 3 weeks. We have to go into the market, man. Just this team needs reinforcements, because I'm telling you now, what will happen is we will pick up an injury or 2. We've got one to Bradley today, or he's an unfortunate one. Yeah. But this is what I'm trying to say. You have to be ready to 1 or 2 more injuries to any of our players. And then you're really down to the bare bones. And we have no choice.
Because we want to go on all fronts. I know we can't win the league now, but we want to get in the top 4. But at the same time, we want to do well in the Champions League, and you need squad to be able to do that.
If we somehow get in the top 8 to the Champions League, right? Just say we beat Marseille, and there's still 10 days left of the window. We have a serious chance of winning it. People can say, "I know it's right now. It's a million miles away." I get that. Bring in a couple of players. At least go for it. At least go for the Champions League. At least give us something to shout about, because we've seen.
Or bring forward one of the players that you were thinking about getting in the summer. Like, I would love to test Newcastle's resolve now for Anthony Gordon. I would love to test them resolve. I don't think they'll do it now, but I would just go, right, okay, let's drop 75 million and say,
we're not going to pay 75 million for him.
No, I don't think we will. I think that's what it would cost for them to release him in January, now that they're back in the hunt for Champions League. But I would love to test him. If he's a serious target in the summer, then why can't he be a serious target in January?
I don't mind this guy, I don't mind this guy.
Adidas. Hey, the B&R Tommy Elfinger range comes out very soon. I saw that.
Should we call it a wrap?
Yeah, we can all sleep well tonight.
We can all sleep well.
It's much better playing well than shit, isn't it? Flipping it.
You know what? I was feeling it. It was gonna be meltdown tonight if Liverpool lost. Like proper meltdown, but there's still 570 people in the house. People smash a like. Ben, tell me how many likes, man. Tell me how many
likes tonight.
Today they have to flip and smash a like, man. Come on, yard.
6,412 likes tonight.
Guys, there's only 550. We are on.
Yeah, 151.
171.
171 likes.
What the
Have a
hell,
big,
man? We
massive
should be
word
on
for
minimum
yourself.
300. I honestly, we should be on 300 likes. So at least get us to 250.
Russell Bones goes, I will like when Asim predicts a win.
Is it too? I know the bar's low, but is it unrealistic to say that was our best performance of the season?
No, it wasn't. It was our best.
I think that second half was.
Yes,
I think so. Given the circumstances and the scenario,
100%. Given the circumstances, 150. There's no doubt about it. Then
played well against
doubt
Real
about
Madrid
it.
at home. Like we played well against Real Madrid. That was a good performance. Villa was played into our hands. But then you think about the other big wins we've had this season. There's not been that many that have been a brilliant performance. Just been good results. But tonight that was probably the best performance.
J Slot, big up. Thank you very much for your support. He goes, bro, I beg, keep Gordon's name, ban his name on this. Basically, ban his name on this channel. We're all Gordon in me and Ben, so we ain't banning anything.
I'm telling you now, he's on the list. He is on the list.
Josh Media TV, big up. Thank you very much for your super chat, mate. Happy New Year, lads. Proud of the lads. Done my first at watch along today. Thanks for being inspiring. Rush, big up, and I'm glad. I wish you all the best in whatever you're doing, guys. All of you are in here. Make sure you go over to Josh's channel, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, his channel as well, and we wish you all the best for now and the future. J Slot, he's got bare dough today. I'd rather
he's got more money than John Henry.
Yeah, for that. Send Richard Hughes a few quid to buy right back.
I'd rather Barnes than Gordon. I'm more Gordon. I need pace. I need pacey wingers who are gonna do the runs. And Barnes is quick, but not Gordon quick. Is there anything else, guys?
That's it. That was the last one.
I think that's done.
Right, guys, we're on 214. Yeah, I will at least get up to 250. Come on. I need 36 people to smash that like button before we go. So come on. We were on 170, so we've had a few. So come on, guys. That's the least you can do, man. Smash that like button.
Whilst we're waiting, then take a few questions from the chat, Gene.
You know what? Let's do question time.
Bar must be low. Don't think we had
a shot on target.
Shot on target.
Oh, okay. Baby steps.
Yeah.
Look, actually, but I think I've criticized the Liverpool brand of football. Thinking, but I been saying it that the irony is the brand of football that we've been playing is probably suited against the top teams. And it showed tonight. But it's the control Liverpool had, and it's the reluctance from Arsenal to go really, really aggressive. The crowd wanted them to go and push on us and get touch tight, but they couldn't. And Liverpool showed courage tonight, and that is one of the. I repeat it again. Liverpool played in Arsenal's half in the second half, and if you compare it to all the big teams that came up against Arsenal this season, in a much better position in terms of the strength in squad, the players' confidence, and the mentality of the players, in a much, much better position. Liverpool did not tick any of those boxes, regardless of how many games we've been unbeaten prior to tonight's game. And Liverpool showed courage tonight, and that's what we want, fans. Liverpool play the right way. If you lose, fine. But look who you were up against, a real physical side, the likes of Wirtz, McAllister. And I looked at that team. I can't lie, guys. I think it was Hood who sent a screenshot on his laptop, and the two lineups were side by side. And I looked at Liverpool's team. I thought, wow, it looks really, really weak. Really weak compared to the physicality of Arsenal. But you know what?
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to, give the players credit that don't judge a team in isolation on paper, because it doesn't matter how big you are, big or small you are, if you show corners and courage, then you can do a lot of things on a football pitch. And Liverpool, to be fair to them, showed that tonight.
100%.
Questions before we go. Toward the clip, Said Anwar or Javed Miandad? Look, I never really saw Javed Miandad in his prime. He won the World Cup. Said Anwar didn't. So Javed Miandad. What else was there? There's a couple of others, Asim. Oh yeah, this is for you guys. Asim, this one.
You were saying Schlotterbeck is going to Real Madrid, did you?
I saw some links that he's going to Real Madrid. That Real Madrid won him.
I'd have Schlotterbeck.
Ordonez for me.
Really?
Can Schlotterbeck play across the whole
something about Ordonez for me, man.
No, we can't. All right.
Schlotterbeck can play in Van Dijk's position and probably left back as well.
All right. Okay, fair enough.
In big away games.
I need to include somebody who can play right back in the equation now. I think it changes the goalposts.
J Slot again, big up. I saw you guys do an all-time test 11 like a month back, and you didn't include Daryl Stain, poor one of the goats. Look, we probably did. I think we missed him out. But look, there's loads of fast bowlers, man. But the king of swing is Wasim Akram.
But Daryl Stain, yeah, no doubt, one of the
Daryl Stain is Rami bowler, man. I think I'm better done, Asim. Asim, you know what? Ajra say so. You can sleep easy.
Updates from Fabrizio on Chiesa just dropped there now. So Liverpool continue to insist that in such a long season, with so many games and above all with injuries, letting Federico Chiesa go is not something the club currently intends to do unless an important offer arrives. Liverpool are insisting on a permanent deal or an obligation to buy. Juventus want to do a loan but are evaluating the possibility of proposing something more creative, perhaps including an obligation tied to certain conditions. Right now, Liverpool want a guaranteed obligation. Juventus are speaking both with the agents and Liverpool next week could be decisive. So they can't afford to buy him outright. But if they're trying to think about saying, right, okay, we'll get him on loan, but with an obligation to buy at the end of the season, Liverpool might accept it. And then it opens up a slot. It opens up a window, doesn't it?
It looks like Liverpool won. Though they weren't going to only let him go. I think they've learned a lesson from the Harvey Elliott deal. That they want an obligation, they won't put any appearance clauses or anything like that. But if Liverpool are even talking about the idea of Federico Chiesa going,
they're buying a forward.
I think Liverpool have already lined up a name.
100%.
100%. If they haven't fucking lined up a name, they're going to need their fucking head checking.
Because at this moment in time, Federico Chiesa is not. He's taken up a space in the squad, but he's not a realistic option to start a football match at any serious level.
He doesn't trust him. He doesn't trust him, Ben. Let's be honest.
Doesn't trust him, does he? Yeah. And if we're all honest, you know, his heart and his attitude is absolutely brilliant, but he hasn't got the legs for the Premier League. He just hasn't. And you know,
listen, there has to be a name, Asim. Have you heard about a name about a forward? Obviously, Semenyo to chala gaya aur koi tha.
Now, if I say I can't tell you,
don't tell me.
I don't know. Because I don't know.
Okay, that's fine.
I can tell you. I can tell you who it is.
Anthony Gordon.
Anthony Frederick Trevor Gordon. That's who it is.
Ben is in on the train, man, and he ain't budging left or right with that one. But I think, if I'm honest, I think we're gonna go for like somebody like a Sade or something.
He can't play on the wing, though, can he? Or can he?
But I have a feeling we're gonna go hard.
If
we're gonna sign one, we have to go all out. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. Oh, that you go and get a Bradley Barcola, फिर मजा है ना. फिर विचालियां माना चाहिए. कसम आज Gio slot. Hughes and Edwards मन्नी किया तो सकी. You've gone out there and gave me one. You know, if we signed a Barcola, that would be a Kravitz-Scalia signing for us in January.
It was absolutely.
This is what he can do. We could go from a good side, a shit side right now,
to a very good
to an unbelievable side very quickly. Because and him and a Gay take us to another level very quickly.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I know we're getting carried away, but if you went into a Champions League quarter-final with the front three of Barcola, Isak, and Salah all on form, that's serious. That's a proper,
behind him. Toba.
And behind.
And play Gay at right back if we have to just shore it all up. Yeah, let
season could change rapidly over the next few weeks. Yeah, absolutely. It depends on how much ambition they have for this season. But I think they've got to look at the situation and say Virgil van Dijk has got one season left next season and he's going to be less than what he was this season. Salah probably won't even be there next summer. So it's like, this is possibly the last chance to win the Champions League for two of those absolute legends. Go for it. Go for it. And you were going to be getting somebody like Barcola in the summer anyway. So just bring it forward. We've done it before. We brought Diaz forward. We brought Gakpo forward.
Yeah, I think it's all about PSG wanting to sell him though. Do they want
not
to
bring? Yeah, no. We'll bring Anthony Trevor Gordon forward then.
They won't sell to us in Jan. No chance. They're going to be going for the Champions League. They're not. We're fighting for them for really 4th, 5th right now.
Yeah, no, I know, but I still think
I'm comparing Barcola to Kraver. What I mean is impact on a team. When Kvaratskhelia went to PSG, he impacted the side. I believe that if you signed a Barcola, he will impact the team. Kraver's obviously miles better than him, man. I'm not saying he's pretty Kraver's Barcola's level. No, he's not. But Kraver's a lot better.
Okay.
I'm trying to think who else. Would you? It's a bit of a mad shout.
What do you think of Yan Diamande, Ben?
Bro, you'll see him on Saturday. Rami player.
I'd say keep an eye on him.
Yeah, all right, okay, fair enough. I'm not seeing that much of him, to be honest. I was just going to make another mad shout. We have been linked with him in the past, but I think he's probably over the age bracket now. Given their circumstances, and they probably know that he's going, would you even entertain the idea of a mad bid for Bowen? No, just because of the age profile.
Not that as well, because we're not playing Salah before he went to the AFCON. And he can only play. I know he can play in a 4-4-2 as well. Born off the striker, he's played it off Antonio. Even I think he played in a lone striker role. Even when they won the what's that Europa Conference or whatever it's called,
Conference League. Yeah.
He did bits down the middle as well. So I really like him, but I think if Salah's fitness record wasn't, bonkers, I think he would have been a really good understudy for Salah. But because Salah played at the highest level week in, week out, and his just fitness levels, he got probably about one injury in about 8 years. That cost him a Liverpool move. Because Jurgen Klopp really liked him.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Yeah, I'm just looking down the league and thinking who is realistic options in other teams where they're not maybe going to be going for Europe all of a sudden now, and they would be tempted by a bid for somebody. And there aren't that many options really, other than the ones that we've talked about.
Could we do a little deal? First refusal for Yildiz if we let you have Chiesa?
That's a really interesting
I'll do that right now. I'll give it to them and say, I'm not poor. Give him us in the summer. I'll take that. Go and sign somebody else.
First refusal.
But accepting that we don't get a replacement in January.
You're gonna have to.
But I suppose though,
then you go and spend.
You're not using much anyway, are you? So, what difference does it make? It's not like he's. It's not like he's.
Ben, my issue is if I look at this year's Champions League, right, teams, and it's not every year you think we might have a chance. If we were on song, we were one of the favourites. So it's not every year your favourites for the Champions League. I look at this team now, maybe, and look, I know it's only one game, and people might start thinking, fucking Gene's go thinking we're going to go and win the Champions League. I'm not, but if we can get into the top 8 somehow, bring in a 1 or 2, if we can, we might have a chance of going having a goal.
I agree.
So if you've got a chance of winning it, and look, we might win a few games, top 4 or 5 might be easier. We might be able to rest a game or a player or two for when them games come. We're not in a title race where it's every game is intense, but we have to go out and bring somebody in, bring some players in. Then you have to be strong to go and win it, because it's not. This is Salah and Van Dijk's Salah's last chance of going and winning it. So he's gonna want to. He's gonna want to go out there and do what he can do to try and deliver it. Matthias Mane, but I can't see ball selling to us right now.
There's something about Mane at Anfield, isn't there, boys?
Yeah. Do you think there's still a world where they're waiting for Salah to come back from AFCON and then get the big bid from Saudi and then go and spend it? Or do you think because they're thinking we wouldn't go and buy somebody now because then Saudi are like, well, you've just spent all your money, so we'll give you what we're giving you? Are they keeping the powder dry maybe until they sell Salah?
I think if when Salah comes back,
because I'm trying to
now I can't see them selling him. I would be really surprised to see him leave, Ben.
We're not gonna change the shape back to 4-3-3 though. I don't think, are we?
I think we will.
So, I don't think so. Right now, I don't see him.
But
right now,
there's no way on planet Earth that Salah can be a bit part player for the rest of the season. He either goes or he's integral part. no bench. One
Well, I
week
tell you
and
one
play
thing: we
the
might
other.
not play 4-3-3, but there might be a world where he might go with Salah slightly out wide, but playing in the diamond. Whether there's him and Ekitike up front, but Salah slightly wide. But I think he's got his position now in terms of Wirtz playing from the left.
I
think Wirtz is going to play from the left now.
When Salah comes back, I think our first choice by default will be Ekitike down the middle with Salah and Wirtz.
I think that's going to be the team as well.
And then Szoboszlai from the 10. Just like today.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Szoboszlai in the middle. Yeah.
I think that's our best team right now.
I do as well.
So that's Gakpo on the bench then.
Yeah.
But that might work actually, because then Gakpo can dovetail with Wirtz, and Wirtz is your creative, your unlocker, and your person who picks the locker, whereas Gakpo can be your flat track bully then.
Yeah. I think that's where he might go. But let's see what happens.
Last question of the night, Gene, from Salah. Yildiz or Barcola? Choose one.
I said to you at the time, I can't go against my boy Yildiz.
Wow, man.
I really like Barcola, but I think Barcola is more of a need right now, though.
Yeah.
So I would probably go Barcola. Change my mind there for a second.
Super chat.
I'd go with Yildiz as well.
Wow. I've been crying out for some pace. So I go for Barcola. I really like Yildiz. I've been watching him quite a bit for the last month. Keep an eye out on Harry Wilson. You know what? I'm happy for Harry Wilson. He's become established as a proper, decent
Premier League player.
Honestly,
like Nico Williams as well. Done really well since he left.
Yeah. You know what? Let's just.
I think this guy wants to be the new ITK.
Who?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hassan says, F them all. You know what? Let's just finish on this. You know what? Fuck off. Good night. Bye for now.